Hey, so we have got a pretty cool little critter for you today. Come in and have a look at this, Hannah. Hopefully it doesn't jump out before we can get a good look at it. But this is a black-necked Delma. Now it looks incredibly like a snake, but it's actually a legless lizard. This is one of the lizards that people do often get confused for a snake, and it's not hard to see why. But there is some differences. Hopefully it settles down. They're very, very twitchy and fast little lizards. But it does have ear openings, which are very hard to see with the naked eye, especially when they're flapping around. But if you can notice the ear openings, that's one giveaway that it's a lizard. The shape of the head is also another giveaway. They don't have a forked tongue like snakes either, if he sticks his tongue out at all. But these guys are quite widespread. They've got quite a large distribution actually for northern Queensland and northern Australia really, and across the interior parts of Australia. But they're not often seen. And main reason why is this is actually an adult. This is a big one. It doesn't look like it. Looks like a tiny little hatchling snake. Yeah. We've just moved over here a little bit because we were getting smashed by mozzies. But yeah, these guys are quite common but very hard to actually see in the wild because, as we were saying, this is actually a full-grown specimen. Looks like a baby snake, but in fact it is actually an adult black-headed Delma. So Delma tincta is the scientific name. These guys are primarily nocturnal, so it's another reason why we don't see them too often. Unless they get disturbed, you don't really see them in the day. It's calmed down a lot now. Oh, but I jinxed it. So, now the tail on these guys takes up about 2/3 of the body. So the tail actually starts there where my thumbs are here. My finger and thumb are there. So all this part here is tail. So very, very long tail. And they can get a little bit bigger, but the snout to vent length doesn't get really any more than 10 centimeters at best, really. So only a very, very small lizard. They can be distinguished, by this. They can be distinguished by the coloration on the head and the stripes that they have, but it does look very similar to other Delma species, and especially the threatened species, which is the having a mental block here, the collared Delma. So, but it's not a collared Delma. Now these guys generally live in open grassy areas like this, but we'll put it into the garden, and they like to feed on small invertebrates. They only have a clutch size of 2 eggs, so every single one of these guys is really important. It's not like snakes where they have like 20 of them, and there's a lot to get, fed around to birds. These guys only have 2 at a time. So we're going to put this stash him right into maybe this garden here where he can hide a bit. So we don't want to spook the little guy. We'll just go check. Do you want to let him go, Hen? You can let him go. Yeah. We'll go put him into this garden over here. Did you want to do it? Why not? So he'll be right down here. He'll hide in amongst all this leaf litter. He'll just disappear straight away and feed on little invertebrates that he comes across and finds. Off you go, little buddy. Off you go, mate. So, of course, they do look like a snake, but they are a totally different type of reptile. They are very much a lizard. Yeah, so I just thought we'd make a quick video on this guy, the Delma tincta, because if you happen to see one at your place, don't panic. It's not a snake, it's a lizard. And it's a beautiful one at that, isn't it? Oh. advantage of being so small is it doesn't take much for him to hide in. You just hide under a single leaf. I think that's what he's choosing to do now. And of course, if I just zoom back out and stand up where I'm standing, you ain't going to see that lizard there. And that's how they stay safe. And I don't even know where it is anymore. I shouldn't have done that because now I've lost him too. But anyway, see you, little buddy.